Hey everyone, it's your boy Stewart back in Jacaranda record store to tell you all about the new albums that I'm excited about. Now some of you may have been lost in all that record store day hysteria, but don't worry, I was keeping an eye on what was happening, and here I am with the 5 best records you should be going out and buying right now. And number 5 is Unknown Mortal Orchestra. Now, Ruben Nielsen, the main man of Unknown Mortal Orchestra, singer and songwriter, he's a pretty clever dude. He knows that by naming his album Sex and Food, he's going to get all of our attention. Even just seeing the name on the release list had my head twitching like a dog at a dinner table. Now, the thing about this album though is that it lives up to that high expectations you get from those things. I mean, you can't actually eat or fuck this record, I have to point that out right now, but it feels you're leaving as satisfied as if you had done. Now, Ruben might have a rack of guitar pedals and effects longer than Rapunzel's hair, but that's not going to stop him from hiding his pop sensibilities that come shining out on beautiful gems like Honeybee or anything that he puts his really soft but insistent vocals to. Now, any of you out there who felt like the Queens of Stone Age last album wasn't quite heavy enough, listen to this. Californian trio Sleep were contemporaries of Josh Homme's first band, Caius, but they kind of fell apart towards the end of the 90s, drowning in record company rubbish basically. And they've come back now. This is their first new album in nearly 20 years, or 15 depending on who you listen to. But it's a real sludge fest, which I absolutely adore. The first track on this album is basically just feedback artfully wrestled into some kind of melody and rhythm, and there's no let up from there. This is real primal stuff begging to be played on the absolute loudest system possible. Safely, of course. Now, I'm a little bit of a riff monger at heart, I don't mind admitting, and there's plenty in this record to keep me going, so if you're the same, then you need to go out and buy this one. And number 3 is a great sentence that I get to say that I didn't think I'd be able to. There's a new Dr. Octagon album out. Now, for hip-hop fans of a certain vintage, as I am myself, the original collaboration between Kool Keith, Daniel Tomato and DJ Cuba was kind of like the high watermark of alternative hip-hop alongside DJ Shadow's Introducing that came out around the same time. It's in the same world as the original, with dark, moody soundscapes, plenty of brilliant scratching, and Kool Keith's unique brand of horrorcore humour. Now, any of you who didn't listen to the first one, this is an equally good place to start, but trust me, I think you'll be going back to the other one as well. This month's runner-up is Goat Girl. With a name inspired by Bill Hicks and an album inspired by the gentrification of London, this South London quartet have produced a really unsettling, startling debut album. Now, they've used a loose framework of jangly punk across these 19 tracks. I did say 19 tracks, but don't worry, none of them outstay their welcome. The longest in there is about 3 minutes. Now, I'll be interested to see which one of these songs gets played on the radio because they're just so weird. The Man with No Heart and No Brain, that's the one that I've been playing in clubs right now. But again, I urge you to go out and listen to this record. It really sounds like the start of something new. And at number 1, the best album released in April this month, the electric lady herself, Janelle Monáe, with Dirty Computer. Now, some of you may take issue with the fact that this is the number 1 album, seeing as it was only released, well, a couple of hours ago. But to be honest with you, this one would rank pretty high, even if it was just based on the 4 outstanding tracks that she's released so far. Now, the scope of those 4 tracks, they give you party funk bangers, electro-pop anthems, and raw and righteous hip-hop, already tells me that this could be the album that puts her where she belongs. Now, that's not to say the rest of it's filler. Every single track on Dirty Computer has got something worthwhile to say. The beauty is in how Monáe decides to give it to us, deciding when to use subtlety and when to just drop the bucket over our heads. She's already one of the most creative minds of our generation. Can we now make her the most popular? Please? So there you have it, those are my selections this month. As always, if you agree or even if you don't agree, let us know how you feel about it in the comments, and one of you will be able to win one of this month's albums. Now, speaking of which, someone has also won one of last month's albums, and I'm pleased to announce the winner of Young Fathers is Mr. Thomas Tanner. Now, well done to you, Thomas. I'm going to be sending out an album to you, well, pretty much as soon as I finish making this video. So look out for that one. And all of you out there, wait for next month. is coming. Boom.